Okay, so I kind of feel like we're talking backwards here, going straight to forgiveness, because to me that's what took the longest. Um, and I haven't gotten there yet, and I never would get there in the sense of the word of saying, "Okay, it's all right. It's okay. I don't care. Whatever you did is okay, and I understand that you have your issues and all that stuff." It's nothing like that. It is, to me, accepting what happened and acknowledging what happened. It's like knowledge is power, and it may sound like a little thing, especially if you're in the beginning, but it takes a long time to actually, you think you know everything. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, when I first got out, for instance, I was sure that he loved me the entire time and that he hadn't done this and he hadn't done that, and like that a lot of the things in the process did not apply to me. Then as time went on, I would look back and go, oh, yeah, I see that now. And so that will probably happen to you. And as you progress and you discover this stuff, you'll start to accept it. So to me, that is actually the true meaning of forgiveness, and you have to make an effort to do that. The fact, if you actually make an effort to focus in that direction, it will come faster. You can't really force the process so much, but it is true. That's why we try to learn and all that stuff, because it speeds up the process. I can't even imagine have been in maybe, for instance, the relationship I was in 30 years ago, when there was no internet and I could not have researched it like this. I was kind of in this position growing up with two totally dysfunctional parents, and then into a dysfunctional marriage. I had a son with a dysfunctional man who was 15 years older than me when I was in my early 20s. I had no clue. I didn't have an internet back then and had nothing to look at it up. So I didn't know anything. This time around, like, if it wasn't for this, I'm not really sure what would have happened. And I even shiver because I don't know for sure that people that have been involved with him know. I don't know. And it's a scary thought. So anyway, yes, wisdom and knowledge is power. And it is, to me, that's forgiveness. The other thing is to, you have to forgive yourself. That's actually what it all comes around to. And after a while, where I came to was, I would imagine that I was him, and I know he struggled sometimes. I mean, we can't split either, and we do sometimes, because we do have to acknowledge that we have got our own issues. Otherwise, we would have like ran the hell away, right? As fast as we possibly could, as soon as anything bloody strange came up. And I know myself now, I'm like, if I'm not actually running away, I'm very, very aware. But with him, we never would even have gotten past first base, and my bells would be blowing right now, and I'd be going, oh, I don't think so. You do grow and you do learn. I don't know that forgiveness, I still struggle with it myself. I don't know that forgiveness is the right word. I meant to look it up. But you do have to do something to process it through, and to me it is acknowledge and accept what happened. And you know what? I was thinking today that the big thing was not, you know what, the hardest thing for me was accepting the betrayal. And I told him that, and it always was. It wasn't, I could have handled that he decided he wanted to be with other girls. I could have handled that he found me boring. I could have handled that Even that I moved all the way down there, and then he decided he didn't want me there. I could have handled even that he was mentally ill and fucking around doing weird things, like before I even saw him. I could have handled all that, but it was the betrayal aspect of it, and the fact, of course, that he never really tried to make amends for it. To my knowledge, I mean, he did. I guess you could say he tried, but you know, he kept going back to the same thing again, and I never felt that he really was trying. I guess the betrayal was just huge, huge, and that's what you have to get over. And you know what? You know how you do it? I thought about it today. How you do it is you just accept the fact that you made a mistake. Yes, you take the blame. You take the responsibility on yourself. Because in this life, that's the only way that you can have any power or any control, is by taking responsibility for any part of your part in anything. Because that's what you can change. And that's what you can let go. You can't do anything about anybody else. So you accept the fact. Stephen Covey has a lot to say about that. Fortunately, he died in a bike accident years ago, but he was a genius, and that was one of his things that he talked about, your circle of control. And you can accept the fact that you made a mistake in your judgment. You trusted someone that was not trustable, and let it go. And it's that simple. And you don't even have to make a big deal. We don't need to go on about it. Like, we don't need to say, like I was just going to, we don't need to say you handed yourself over to somebody and all that stuff. You just have to simply say, I made an error in my judgment, and I trusted somebody that I can't trust and that I couldn't trust. I trusted somebody who was mentally disabled, and I shouldn't have done it, and I should have let it go earlier, and I should have trusted my own judgment. I should have looked after myself. I should have looked out for myself, all that stuff, and but then let it go. Say, I acknowledge that I did it. I accept that I did it, and I'm free. I'm free now. That's all. And I vow from this day forward to look after myself and to take care of my inner child and look into the inner child thing, because I know I'm going to. I still don't really get how it works. I grew up with no inner child caring, so I don't know. I don't have a clue how that works. So it's something to look into. But anyway, that's the big thing. And also, you need to forgive yourself, and that's part of it. That right there is a big part of it. You need to forgive yourself for basically betraying yourself, because that's what you did. Or that's what I did. I'm not ever, when I'm doing these videos, I would like everybody to keep in mind that I'm not judging anybody else, and I'm not speaking for anybody else, including him. He used to say, how would you know what I'm thinking? How would you know this? You're wrong, blah, 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 and all this stuff. And sometimes it was probably wrong. So you can only really know your own perceptions and your own thing. But in my case, and possibly yours, you did not protect yourself, your inner child, or your outer child, or your grown child, your grown-ass girl, which is what you will become. And that really sums it all up. You have to forgive yourself for betraying yourself and not looking after yourself because you didn't know. Just like my stepmother. Did I explain that in this video? I grew up, she was extremely emotionally abusive. I don't know if it was because my stepdad was an narc for sure, which I didn't know, of course, at the time. And he might have just drove her crazy. I know I lost my mind. I'm going to post some videos someday. I might just put some below where I just went into this weird thing last spring, doing videos, and I posted them to my Facebook. At the time, even, I'm going, this isn't me. I don't understand. People are going, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. But it was a healing thing. It was a healing somehow. I'm going to talk some more about that another time. So anyway, forgive yourself and accept and acknowledge and that you made a mistake in judgment. And their part in it was their own part in it. They're struggling just the same, or let's say they are what they are. The first time I found out he was catfishing and cheating and blah, 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 who the hell knows what he was doing, I said to him, I can't help what you are. And that was probably the most truth I ever spoke to him. I should have left him and let it go at that time. And I didn't. I came back so many times that I can't even count. And that's the truth about them, though. They can't help what they are. They are what they are. You are what you are. We can work on ourselves. They don't appear to be able to. Maybe somebody can explain that, but excuse me, I don't think that they can. They just, like he used to say, next. He used to do it to hurt me and to be rude, but that is how he lived his life. Next. You know, how many has he gone on to since me? Who the hell knows? And he writes me letters that says, I'm number one. And I'm like, I always said I didn't want to be a number, and it's kind of a joke. I'm number one of what, 400 million thousand? So I'm interjecting there. But anyway, that's that. I hope you can make some sense of it. I will probably write it below a little bit just in point form, the main points. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I'd be happy to talk about anything else. So forgiveness, I would love to find another name because I don't like it. I don't think forgiveness is the right word. So if you have any ideas, let me know. And have a good night.